Hello, and welcome to episode 102 of Prose. This week, long for the walkers of dreams, and have a taste of positivity and kindness in the music industry. Yet again, I find myself having to say that I hope this episode finds you all well amid the various social distancing and quarantine stuff going on out there. If you're new to the show, I'd encourage you to go back and listen to our backlog of now over 100 episodes. For those that aren't so new to the show, maybe go back and find a favorite. Also, I will be releasing an Easter special next week, so that's something we can all look forward to enjoying together. Please do go follow the show on social media under @ProsePodcast across platforms. And if you are enjoying the show, click that 5-star button on Apple Podcasts for Prose. It really does help a lot. For easiest access to the show, subscribe using any podcast catcher that you like. Lastly but not leastly, go check out Prose on Patreon. That's at patreon.com/Prose Podcast. And do consider supporting the show there. It'll help me out, and you'll get some swag out of the deal. Thanks for listening, and hopefully I can take your minds off everything for a moment. Let's get to the tale, shall we? This week we have the short poem, Without Sleep, and the short story, Sing Your Heart Out. Enjoy. Without Sleep. Through the red sands and golden sun and brown hues the walkers come. They traverse the dreamscape, bringing peace and solace and rest and escape. They arrive only for the sleeping, of which there are none. They abandon the dying, of which there are many. Through the red sands and golden sun and brown hues the walkers come, but not for us. Thank you for listening to Without Sleep by me, Jared I. McGee. Please stick around for a bit of positivity and shine to brighten your day with our next short story. Sing Your Heart Out, an original short story by me, Jared I. McGee. Hello and happy Friday, John. To answer your question, I did do the requested research on Miss Kim Ocampo. As it turns out, Miss Ocampo is indeed originally from Manila. She was born there and spent the first 8 years in some rather rough sections of the city with her extended family. After her father died, her mother apparently reached out to some relatives that had immigrated to the U.S. back in the early 1980s. So that all checks out. Her early years in the States check out too. She ended up in Oklahoma. God only knows why, since her relatives are out in California. But that's where her mother went and put down roots. She had a little brother born of her mother and a stepdad that ditched pretty quickly after. She attended a local Lawton high school where she was in the band and choir, and then, and this is the damnedest thing, John, she just sort of sat. The reason we couldn't find her work history, or her performance history, is because there really isn't much to find out about the former. And there is, and I can't stress this enough, literally nothing to find out about the latter. The last time this girl performed for anyone was back in that high school choir she was in. Now, I know that all of this sounds pretty far-fetched. You and I just happened to stumble across a superstar voice browsing Facebook idly while stuck at home amid this corona bullshit. But yes, boss man, that is precisely what I'm telling you we've done. Small-town Oklahoma has been cradling this girl from the rest of the world for 30 years now. And even though she's a touch old to be a pop star we can groom, I honestly think we can turn a profit on the investment. At the very least, we're going to get some amazing press coverage out of this thing. It doesn't matter what play we put forward. The easy road would be to put her on one of those vapid shows like America's Got Talent or The Voice. That way, we could tell her story, play it up, have her start as a regular girl next door immigrant from a hard life type. By the way, I haven't even told you of how her brother tragically died at 12 and her mother died when Miss Ocampo was only 23. Anyway, and then we could really doll her up and take her to the superstar level with looks and poise. However, my argument is that we just put her straight into a booth and start recording. Like now, right away. The mountain we will have to climb will be a bit steeper, to be sure. But this way, we can control and market her image far better. I know what you were going to say too. But Jerry, those shows are rigged and we will just pay the fee and have Miss Ocampo win and then go on to bigger things. But John, do ask yourself how many American Idols, The Voice winners, America's Got Talent super contestants have gone on to do much of anything at all. Not many, right? Barely any. If she were 17 through maybe even 20, I would be okay with the cheesy little road to success so many star makers are trying to gamble on. If it botches, we would still have a few years to see if we couldn't squeeze stardom out of the universe for the girl and turn ourselves a hefty profit. But she's not got the luxury of youth. She's edging up to 40, John. You saw the same girl I saw in those videos. She is far from ugly. She has kept herself in decent shape. Nothing too horrible that a personal trainer and a strict diet for a few months couldn't fix. From what we could glean online, she's had a kid a while back, so we might have to opt in for some cosmetic work if we are going to try to market her as a body too. That's no big deal. It's the standard approach. Anyway, what I remember you being struck by was her long, super thick black hair. She's still got that according to social media postings, so we're in luck there. The number of looks our stylists can give this girl with that much hair is downright staggering. Even with all that positive potential, age really is working against us. If we move quickly, hoping that the personal trainers and nutritionists can get her svelte in, let's say 6 to 12 months, that will probably only give us about 3 years of performing while leaning on sex appeal and what is left of her looks before we'll need to push for the usual battery of plastic surgery. And, as you well know, from that point on, it's an uphill battle that she and we will inevitably lose. I still think that all of that doesn't detract from her voice, John. Girl has pipes. Hell, I'd use those 2 or 3 videos as promotional materials if we can get the rights to the songs without getting fleeced. And I'm telling you, if she can sing like that while hiding in her pantry from her kids and recording on an iPhone that's 3 generations old, we are going to make money. Lastly, at the risk of being mocked and you thinking I've lost my edge, let me just say that I also just plain like Kim. I've not spoken with her yet, as per your orders, but I can just tell. She's a hard worker with a kind heart. Even typing all this usual fuck all about how tight her ass is and big her tits are and how many wrinkles around her eyes are noticeable on 1080p rankles me with this one. She still has the light in her eyes and the hunger in her heart, John. I can tell. Let us 2 old scoundrels give this girl a chance, eh? Let's make her a star and change her life and do something right by the universe for once in our careers. Alright, boss man. I'm betting you won't get to this until Monday morning, but on the off chance that you do, please do give me a shout when you make the call. I want to call Miss Kim Ocampo personally the second you yellow or green light the project. Again, I think we've got a live one. And I know damn well that we can do right by the label, our bank accounts, Kim, her family, the world music scene, and the whole damned universe if we do this. Looking forward to hearing back. Jerry. Thank you for listening to Sing Your Heart Out by me, Jared I. McGee. All music and sound effects you have heard throughout episode 102 come from YouTube's royalty-free audio library, the alwaysamazingfreesound.org, or my own creations. Everything that isn't mine is being used under CC 1.0 Universal Public Domain Dedication licenses. That does it for Prose this week. Our next full episode will come out in 2 weeks' time, though an Easter special is forthcoming. Please do consider sharing the podcast with someone you think might enjoy these bi-weekly journeys together. And, even more importantly now amid the scary times we are living in, please, as you continue about your day, I hope that you'll remember to love those around you, albeit from afar. Tell them that you do in whatever way you can right now, and embrace this life as it is always, always stranger than fiction. Thank you for listening. Be safe out there. I'll see you next time.